Hey cleaning mystery fans! Today's video takes a spooky twist. Get ready for a chilling short story that's bound to send shivers down your spine. Grab your popcorn and let's dive in.
The Gregory house was one of those sprawling old Victorians, all narrow hallways and creaky floors. I was hired to clean there twice a week, always in the evenings after Mrs. Gregory's bridge club meetings. "I'll be gone when you arrive," she said when she hired me, "but don't mind the noise. This house settles strangely at night." At first, I thought she was exaggerating. The house was quiet during my first couple of shifts. Apart from the occasional groan of the pipes or a loose floorboard creaking under my feet, nothing unusual for a place that old. Then came the night everything felt off. I arrived at my usual time, just after 8 p.m. Mrs. Gregory's car was gone, as usual, and the house was dark except for a faint glow from a lamp she always left on in the foyer. The moment I stepped inside, I felt it. A strange, heavy stillness, like the house was holding its breath. I brushed it off and got to work, starting with the kitchen. Everything was normal at first, wiping counters, loading the dishwasher. But halfway mopping the floor, I heard it. A door closing. It was faint, somewhere upstairs, but unmistakable. I froze, the mop handle stick in my grip. "Hello?" I called out, my voice barely more than a whisper. No response. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe a draft or one of those settling noises Mrs. Gregory mentioned. But as I moved to the next room, I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. In the dining room, I kept glancing at the doorway, half expecting someone to appear. Every small noise, every creak and groan of the house made me jump. Then, as I was dusting the bookshelves in the study, I heard it again. Not a door this time, but footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming from the hallway upstairs. "Mrs. Gregory?" I called, even though I knew she wasn't home. Nothing. I stood there for what felt like forever, straining to hear. The footsteps had stopped, but the silence was worse. It was thick and oppressive. Against my better judgment, I climbed the stairs. The hallway stretched out before me, dimly lit by a single bulb hanging from the ceiling. The doors to the bedrooms were all closed, just as they had been when I arrived. But one, the door at the end of the hallway, was slightly ajar. I hadn't touched it. I approached slowly, my heart hammering in my chest. Pushing the door open, I found myself in a small, cluttered storage room. Boxes were stacked hazardously, and the air was stale with the scent of mothballs. There was nothing unusual except for the window. It was open, the curtains fluttering softly in the breeze. I was certain I hadn't opened it. I shut the window and locked it, trying to calm my nerves. As I turned to leave, I caught a sight of something in the mirror propped against the wall. It was faint, just a blur of motion behind me, like someone slipping out of the room. I spun around, but the hallway was empty. My breath came in shallow gasps as I hurried downstairs, my work forgotten. Grabbing my bag, I headed for the door. But just as I reached it, I heard one final sound. The distinct, deliberate click of a lock turning behind me. I did not look back. I ran to my car, my hands trembling as I fumbled with the keys. I never went back to the Gregory house. Miss Gregory called me once, asking why I'd left without finishing, but I didn't have the courage to explain. Sometimes I wonder what I heard that night. An intruder, a trick of mind, or just the house settling, as Mrs. Gregory had said. Whatever it was, I wasn't about to stick around and find out.
Thank you for joining us on this eerie adventure, the cleaning mystery fans. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more intriguing twists and turns. And if you have any story you want to share, please feel free to email us or leave it in the comments down below. We'd be more than happy to share it with everyone else. Until next time, and keep it clean and very mysterious.